So Chad probably had more beer in 10 days in Oktoberfest than I had for the entire month.
Did you do a sober October?
Well, this is October. That was September.
Oh, you're right.
So I did a semi-sober September.
Yeah. A dry September or a semi-dry.
Well, just less beer. So I switched from beers to Borgs.
Welcome to another episode of the American Beer Review Podcast.
Good times with good friends requires good beer. Lucky for us, we know how to pick all three.
We're a group of friends who grew up in the Pacific Northwest, giving us a jump start on our craft beer journey.
Join us today while Brian... I pride myself on not getting to know other people, so do not put that on me.
Alec. So the bananas up until like the 60s were an entirely different species of banana.
And Chad. It hit me like a wrecking ball.
Review some beer, talk about beer topics, and whatever else comes up. We invite you to pour yourself a drink and hang out with us. You did a Borg?
Nice.
You've been Borging it?
Yeah,
Nice.
well. So
Didn't you mock the Borg?
it's what? I made some modifications to
Okay,
it.
let's talk about your modifications.
So Borg is gallon of water. You dump out a bit. You put in a fifth.
No, you don't have to put in a whole fifth.
No. The traditional one, if you pour out a third, a fifth of a gallon fills up the rest of that gallon.
Okay.
And then liquid IV or Mio or something. So I made some adjustments because I'm older. So I do a liter instead of a gallon.
Okay.
Easier to carry around.
Couple pints. Cool.
A liter bottle, they're a lot easier to...
I'm trying to think what size that is. Like, I'm struggling with that.
This is a liter.
That's a liter. Okay, that
So you
helps.
use a liter.
Your water bottle is 1 liter.
Are you Borging it right now?
So yeah, so it's a liter instead of a gallon, and then we're a little granola, so I don't do liquid IV. This is magnesium, I think passion flower, and milk thistle. Maybe not
You are making up
in there.
words.
Anyway, so...
No,
and a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. So,
Oh, yeah.
My God.
so like a natural liquid IV.
Yeah.
And then, I'll do like 1 or 2, sometimes 3 in a day.
Holy piss.
And then mix in like a beer or 2. Oh, I also don't put any vodka in there.
I was going to say. So it's just water.
Shh. I'm trying to be cool to our younger listeners.
So you're making
And I'm Borging.
You're making an NA Borg.
I'm
okay.
totally Borging. And I'm hip. And I have almost teenagers. And
I was like, I swear to God, if you have 3 of
so
those in
cool.
a day, like, that's...
So hydrated.
If you had 3 of those, even at the liter size in a day, like,
might
you
die.
are not functional.
You might die.
Sorry, guys. We
Oh.
were talking about Oktoberfest, so I had to have it.
What do you have?
The leftover.
I'm having this last Reuben's Fest beer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I said I'm prost too many times. I had to do it. But that is not what we're reviewing.
No.
This is my backup beer. But today,
We are reviewing Paper Lanterns Rice Lager.
from Cerebral Brewing out of Colorado.
Perfect. I'll pour this
Kind of-
out.
Kind of the same. I think you had mentioned, Brian, previously, Stoop's kind of big into like sciencey end, like
Oh,
big
yeah.
speakers. These folks are too. Very prim and proper about, making sure the numbers are right. What was it they called?
What I'm going to be
Well, how about if I go to the right page here?
Oh, because you're on the wrong thing.
So they have a in-house QA QC lab since day one. Big on, we make the beer this way, we make it the same way every single time for consistency and whatnot.
Which is totally what we did when we were
Entirely.
brewing.
Yeah.
Not just winging it.
Never.
Yep. And then they've just moved to a new 2021, they bought an 18,000 square foot building a couple miles down the road from their last location, and they started brewing there 2022, and they're building out a little extra space for next year to have a larger tap room and so more people get in and have their tasty beers.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I think you just took a picture of it, but time in oak, so 3 weeks
Yeah.
in oak and then 6 week in stainless. So this has been aged for a while, which you would need to do with a lager or a pilsner.
Yeah, I was putting it into Untapped, and it's interesting on there. It doesn't talk about being an oak at all, which is kind of interesting. Because that's what I was actually trying to see of like finding more information about. And I'm not finding that, through Untapped, but the other thing that is interesting, so they are also trying to showcase some other like flavors.
Mhm.
They talk about iced chamomile tea, junmai sake, melon mochi, and Hokkaido summertime. I had, I think, mochi for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It was like in a it was like a
In a little
pouch.
Yeah, a little
but it was like
plastic
pouch where like
their
their
it was poofy.
airfield?
Yeah, it was poofy.
yeah. Okay.
To keep them from getting squished in transit.
Okay, because then you touch, like you open it up, and I felt it, and I was like, it's like touching like, it's almost like something that's like in the ocean. It's like soft and squishy, and like, it was really interesting.
Like-
But it was like I think the one I had was like a black tea or something, which tea's not normally my go-to, but like, that was pretty solid flavor. Like, I kind of dug it, but so I'm interested in trying this one. You just got into it?
As expected from a rice lager, very, very pale, very straw, very clean looking, thin head, but kind of crisp, almost appley on the nose.
There's almost like a little apple flavor, maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just one of those other things.
It's probably that chamomile.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of more floral finish.
But it's really flavorful, like in that it's not just
There's a lot there.
There's a lot of nuances in it
yeah.
because you could just pound it and go,
Yeah, cool.
It's
Light
a-
beer.
yeah, light beer, but that's
Yeah, if you the more you sip it, and I'm sure probably if you let it linger a little bit, more flavors come out. But yeah, if this was super cold on tap, you'd be crushing this. You could crush it,
I think
and
you do
you
it-
wouldn't even notice.
I was going to say, I think you do it a disservice by slamming it.
Yeah, I think it is really meant to kind of just be
That's really
enjoyed
nice.
and appreciated, which I think is something more like people are trying to do more of. That if you're into craft beer and you're into, like, there are people who are really into like
Lagers.
getting light
Yeah.
beers and doing that. I think it's never my like go-to of like,
But we've also talked in the last few weeks about how difficult and how much.
yes.
I mean, so this beer, 3 weeks in oak, 6 weeks in stainless, so 9 weeks to turn this from mash into beer.
yeah.
Or
It's a lot of
that's
time.
into
and
beer.
that was 9 weeks from the very first batch they brewed until they could start selling it.
Correct. And versus some of the beers we've talked about, yeah, it's like a 3-day turnaround or a 7-day turnaround. The time commitment that goes into it, you're putting out a product that is supposed to be, enjoyed or savored, I guess.
But
They
Kinda-
do. Oh, go ahead.
I was just, as a thought popped in my head.
Mhm.
Does craft need to reteach how to drink beer to make the year of the craft lager finally happen? Because are so many people?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, how many folks would, if they just plop down at Cerebral, hey, give me the rice lager, because they just think, oh, Budweiser uses rice,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and they just slug this down, don't even think about it, don't even want to
Appreciate
sip. And how much of that ties into that's why there's not really craft lager, because all this time, blood, sweat, and tears, especially the folks at Cerebral, because they're like, we're doing stuff by the book, exactly the same. You have to do that to make, especially a lager this subtle. That the flavors in this are so subtle. If you screwed up any step, it's toast.
Could be, yeah.
But it is, getting over that hurdle of the consumer going, do you want flavor in your lager, or do you just want, I just want something that's going to get me drunk on the cheap while I eat pizza and wings.
Yeah.
Which I don't think this is.
No.
This is,
I mean, you could, but you'd be wasting the beer drinking it like that.
this is almost, I want to pour it into a snifter and enjoy it like a IPA or a
This would be
barrel
an
aged stout almost.
interesting one for the captain to taste. If
See
it.
what he thinks.
He's like, light beer. Does he throw it back and go, beer's
Cool.
beer?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Or does he notice any of the...
I liked light beer, and this fits.
Yeah, I appreciate these notes of it or this thing.
He's not buying it off Tavor though.
No.
No.
So the oak, when it says in oak, the 3 weeks, they're using fooders.
Okay.
So the giant like oak barrels.
Yeah.
So that's what it's in for that. And then they also have, so this becomes like a base, and they've done a version with yuzu and one with lime.
Ooh, okay.
So they have a couple of those. And then on their website, it's pretty cool when you click. So I was like looking through the beers, and it tells you like, okay, this one, there's certain things you can click on, like the fooder, and it then filters their beers all by ones that have been in American Oak Fooder.
Oh, okay.
So then you have a whole list of them, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, look at all that. But then I'm seeing stuff like barrel aged Schwarzbier, and now you're speaking my language. Like that's one I'd be really into. So
similar to like a stoop where you can like break down.
Yeah. I think we
what's
talked
going
about
into
that.
it.
Yeah. So you go, okay, now I want to do a barrel aged flight.
Oh, there you go. And I want,
and then you could go
in the same.
Oh, there's a lager. There's something else.
What's Kabosu? Anyone know what that is?
Which beer is that on?
I just found that they have a mixed fermentation saison with Kabosu. So that's the other
Sounds
thing
like
too.
A fruit.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed too. This is a mixed fermentation saison aged 16 months in Chardonnay barrels and 12 months in American Oak Fooder, and then conditioned on Kabosu juice. So yeah,
it's 2 years. That beer's 2 years old.
Yeah. So one of the things that you talk about with this is like, oh yeah, they're doing. You're saying they're using science, but I from reading through their beers, I don't think it's science of like, oh, we need to follow this exact recipe to make this perfectly stylized beer.
Okay.
I think they're using science to make different flavors and to push.
They're using a scientific method to experiment.
Yes,
with new
because some of the stuff
flavors.
like that, like the list of things that I'm even just read in that little bit on their website, you're not seeing a lot of people doing those types of things. You're not seeing, Chardonnay barrel for 16 months, Oak Fooder for 12 months, now Kabosu juice. Like you're not seeing many lagers like in an Oak Fooder and doing it for that long. You're not seeing the barrel aged Schwarzbier. Like those are just really different things.
Yeah.
That even if they're really sticking with science as the procedures for it, it still really is a
art form.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what their background was.
Yeah.
Because how do you get into? We're going to spend 2 years making a beer,
Right.
When a lot of people get in going, we just need to get something off the ground too.
I don't know if you noticed too, they have a little like hop leaf on there as a logo that kind of also looks like a brain.
Yes. Because they're thinking with the hops.
Okay. Yep. I see it now.
They have hops in the brain.
Yeah, again, I don't think I've ever had anything from
Cerebral.
them before.
I saw in the little header on the website Friday brunch mimosa style sour ale. I'd have to find that because we're big on the brunch beers here.
Mimosa.
They did
sour
also
be
talk
good.
about just basically being
There
like
it is.
a neighborhood brewery in Denver. So maybe not like the largest, They do also talk about a lot about raising funds and like community awareness for different projects. So through using beer to like to help support local causes and stuff. So
So I'm wondering if it's like a not tech bro, but somebody who
has some money in
this is their passion project.
yeah.
Is I enjoy beer. I enjoy making beer. I don't necessarily need to turn a gigantic profit. I don't need to get bought out by AB
Yeah,
InBev
this isn't a
to
buyout play.
whatever. This is kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, hard to
This
say.
is I'm making the beer I want to make.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the people want to make, and I want to support the causes that whatever I want to support.
Mimosa Sour, brewed with Cara orange and white grape juice. Friday brunch, coming in at 6.2. Interesting.
Okay, this kind of it doesn't happen for every single one, but I kind of love this. Their website about the staff, as you scroll through, it like starts with like your regular picture, and then almost all of them, as you keep scrolling
nice.
up, it changes
To them drinking a beer.
or doing something like this dude's like, oh, this one he was like hugging the fooder, but now it's there, see, like
Nice.
so like every single one it does shift. See some, I think it's just my phone.
It's just
But they're all like, oh, he's holding up kegs. So it's kind of funny. Like, so they seem to be looking for good causes, but that maybe don't take themselves too seriously. So I appreciate it.
burner phone, double IPA.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
The
I like this.
yeah.
If this was local, I'd fridge it.
If they
Yeah.
were local, I would definitely try and check out more of their stuff.
And it would be a fridger.
Seasonal, not seasonal.
No. Like this would be a fridger. I'm not going to have a bunch of them because I don't think it appreciates what the nuances in the
Right,
flavor and
drinking
stuff. So
3 or 4 in a night is not.
you're wasting it.
Yeah.
It's probably cost prohibitive. But if you're having a beer, like get it from work, I'm going to have a light beer, or, like a lager. This would be
or
perfect.
or I'm having this, and then I've got the stones in the back.
Or
The
something like
stones.
that.
If I need anything else, I'll have a macro or.
But this is the one where I'm taking my shoes off, undoing the belt, and sitting on the couch for a minute and whatever.
If this beer takes 30 minutes to drink, so be it.
Yeah, and I wonder. I mean, you talked about having it like nice and fresh and cold, but I do kind of wonder
how it warms up.
Yeah, what might happen to it? What would change
if you're
with it?
lawnmowering with it?
I don't
that
feels like a bit of a waste.
Yeah,
Right? And this is more of the
after lawnmower beer.
I'm sitting in my at-home office, decompressing for a little bit, and I just need something to sip on
Yeah.
for a little bit.
And those little notes of things, I think, are what kind of maybe help you appreciate a little bit. Like,
It's almost like a meditation.
that there's no need to like
When you drink
rush
it.
this one.
You're not going to shoot it. You're not going to slam it. Just this is a sipper. This is a little me time.
It's like those flavors. If you don't taste them, it's just telling you, oh, you need to slow down.
Yeah.
So this is Chad wouldn't know because he lives by himself.
Yes.
But this is the beer that I would get home from work and take into the bathroom and pretend like I'm pooping for 15 minutes so that I can get just a little bit of like time to myself inside of the house.
Nice.
Chad's like, I do that anyways. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I have the board that I smear peanut butter on, so the dog will stay here for 15 minutes. So he doesn't have to come in and see what I'm doing in the bathroom.
Zone out.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sitting on a closed toilet.
Yeah.
Just sitting there I mean, don't tell my wife this. She doesn't listen. I don't
You
think.
better hope so. See, I can't
Well,
say that type of
if-
stuff. Mine probably will listen.
Well, if she's listening, she better throw us a review on her podcast platform of choice, just like everyone else.
Yeah, I don't know if I officially did it. Yeah, I'd probably fridge this too. I'd love to try the different.
Variations and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if they put this much effort into, if you're making me think this much about a light beer,
Yeah, each time I'm getting something a little different.
right? If you're swinging for something a little bit wilder or whatever, I would be interested in seeing what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fridging it.
Yeah.
And I wish it was a little closer to home because it does look like a cool place to go grab a flight. They're one of those folks that got hundreds of beers in their beer list. And
their Untapped was like 500 something.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just motivated to let's make good, weird. It's not weird like Drecker.
No.
It's just not marketed weird, but there's like they're doing some interesting, different things.
Yeah.
Different, not weird, with their beer. Not mad about it.
No, this is awesome. So we have our 1 year podcasting or return to podcasting anniversary, which we can technically call our 7 year or something.
No,
if we start from the beginning. So we will.
I don't think we've officially earned a 7-year anniversary.
No, we'll be live broadcasting from
live. We will record live.
We will record live from a brewery.
Yeah.
TBD.
Locally.
More details to come.
If anybody has a recommendation or
if you'd love to host us,
that would be
fantastic,
spectacular. So we'll be doing that in a
probably
couple weeks.
Looking to do it
probably
end of October, early November.
You got about
a week. Looking some change to
after
get to
this.
Yeah.
After this comes out, before we'll be scheduling that. So
this will be coming out in a few days. So yeah,
cool.
So, awesome. All right. Well, our glasses are about to be empty.
I know. It's like I have a little bit, but I don't feel a lot of times I would
usually
throwing it back would feel like wasting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sip this while we move on to our next thing.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep sipping this while we leave you, the listener, to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. All right. Catch you next time.
Yeah, normally I would like toss it back, and I just don't feel like that's appropriate for this. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Dude.
We're good.
I just rotated it. I was trying to get it out of the way.
No, you don't rotate. You push back towards. There we go. That's the way it goes. Maybe it should be the NA beer, as in the recover from Oktoberfest.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I picked up a
maybe
pack.
the theme. If you enjoyed what you just heard, like and subscribe, follow on social media at A Beer Review, and tell a friend. Send us any suggestions for beers to review, and we'll do our best to track them down and give them a taste.